Heidi ho, and hello again, this time from Crater Lake. We are super excited to be here. This is our 57th National Park. We are going to kick this thing off with the Watchman Trail. Check it out on our 2-day adventure. Join us. Let's get it going now.
The Watchman Lookout Trail is a short climb along switchbacks that leads to a historic fire lookout above Crater Lake's rim. It's one of only a few trails to provide a complete lake view, and from the top, the sight of Wizard Island and that deep blue water is unforgettable. Speaking of water, that incredible blue isn't a camera trick, it's the real deal. Because Crater Lake has no streams carrying in sediment, the water stays exceptionally pure. Its great depth and clarity scatter sunlight in a way that leaves only the bluest of blues for our eyes to see. After a quick snack at the lookout, we made our way back down the trail. With daylight still on our side, we decided to drive around a bit more and take in a few extra views of the rim before heading back to camp.
Good morning from a rainy Cleetwood Cove. We knew some rain was in the schedule. That's fine. We're going to make the most of it today. Anyhow, we're starting our day with a boat tour that Alana was able to book. We're the first tour of the day, so we'll still have plenty of time to explore after. I think the clouds and some of the rain may go away. I noticed on our way in, I have mixed emotions about it. As I look back at the lake, it kind of has an ethereal view and you can't see the top of the mountains, but at the same time, we don't get the same blue color of the water with the clouds where the sun would provide. Anyway, I don't know what we're going to get into, but
let's go see.
Let's go see.
Cleetwood Cove Trail is the only path down to Crater Lake's shore. At 1.1 miles each way, it drops about 700 feet. Easy going down, tougher coming back up. At the bottom, you can dip your hands in the icy water, go for a swim, try cliff jumping, or catch a seasonal boat tour. We chose the 2-hour lake tour, where a park naturalist shared the history and volcanic story of the caldera. Cruising past steep cliffs and circling Wizard Island, the cinder cone rising from the depths, gave us a close look at the lake's fiery beginnings. Crater Lake was formed over 7,700 years ago when Mount Mazama erupted and collapsed. Today, it spans nearly 6 miles across, plunges to 1,943 feet deep, the deepest lake in the U.S., all surrounded by 183,000 acres of forest and volcanic terrain. Crater Lake has its quirks, too. The Old Man, a 30-foot mountain hemlock log, has floated upright here for more than a century, slowly drifting with wind and current like a timeless guardian of the lake.
So I hope you've enjoyed your tour today.
Of course, what goes down must come back up. The return hike out of Cleetwood Cove is a steady climb that definitely works the legs, but the reward is getting back to the rim and those sweeping views of the lake. Next up, we followed Rim Drive, a 33-mile loop dotted with overlooks. Each stop revealed the lake in a new way. different angles, shifting colors, and fresh perspectives. What struck us most was the weather. One moment, the caldera was hidden behind thick fog and cloud, and just 10 minutes later, the lake reappeared in perfect clarity. That unpredictability is part of the magic here, making every view unique. Strut it, baby. Strut it. We circled back to Rim Village, stopping at the visitor center. With power out that day, there wasn't much happening inside, but the views outside didn't disappoint. We walked around the area and checked out the view from Senate Overlook. We finished the East Rim Drive with a stop at Sun Notch, where a short trail opens to a dramatic view of Phantom Ship, which is a rocky island shaped like a ghostly vessel. Our last pause was at Vidae Falls, a 100-foot cascade right beside the road, before setting off on our final hike for sunset. Here's some science behind Crater Lake's color. As I already mentioned, there are no rivers or streams carrying in sediment. It is only rain and snow fed. The super clear water allows sunlight to penetrate unusually far. As it travels down, the red, yellow, and then green light wavelengths are absorbed, while the longer blues remain for your eyes to enjoy. The shade shifts with the light, glowing electric under the sun, then deepening to navy tones when clouds pass over. It's a living mirror, never the same twice. Garfield Peak climbs steadily from the lodge, 3.6 miles round trip, to sweeping views over the rim. The trail is lined with wildflowers in summer, and the higher you go, the more dramatic the perspective on the lake becomes. Reaching the summit, we pause to take it all in, a true panorama of Crater Lake and the surrounding cascades. Then we notice clouds forming in the distance and drifting our way. As we headed down, a glance back showed the peak already swallowed in mist. The weather here changes in minutes, dramatic, unpredictable, and unforgettable.
Good morning. Yesterday was a very, very full day for us. So essentially we've had an evening and then a very full day in the park.
Yes.
We agree that we feel like that's sort of a minimum and an appropriate amount of time. 2 full days is possible if you wanted to slow down a bit. And I would actually recommend that. We were kind of go. And I think it would have been nice to just do a picnic and sort of take a breeze. Now, the reason we were go is we were just here over a weekend. So a lot of what I'm going to say, think about weekend crowds, right?
Yes.
So the drive it's absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
I love taking the time for the pullovers. But midday, Saturday, yesterday, it gets nuts at those pullovers. And in fact, if you are coming this year, the remainder of this year, and you see this video, we get it up in time. If you have a boat tour, leave very, very early. We had
no matter what time your tour is.
That's right. We had an early one, so we had the benefit of having a spot in the parking lot without an issue. But later in the day, when we came back through on the scenic drive, there were people parking a mile and a half away and having to hike in. So your timing could be drastically off. And it is a mile walk down after check-in lines and everything like that. So the last thing you'd want to do is been able to get a boat tour and then miss it. And by the way, that was happening. There were people that were sneaking in on boats because people that had registered for a spot didn't make it there in time. There were some people kind of waiting around down there to see whether there was an open spot for people that were late or didn't make it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Speaking of boat tours, this year is the last year for at least 2 to 3 years. They are redoing that trail down to the water.
And the boat docks.
And they're redoing the boat docks. So sorry about your luck if you're visiting. That doesn't mean that I think a visit still isn't worth it. Like that isn't a contingency upon a visit here. In fact, that beautiful blue water is actually viewed a little better up above and along the rim. So according to the park information, only about 10% of visitors go down that trail and go to the water.
Right.
And I'm sure they've still had lovely times.
Yes.
As far as hiking here, they advertise 90 miles of hiking, but if I'm honest, I feel like a significant portion of that mileage is, it's more related to the little jaunts out and back. So I think it's a sum of little teeny tiny things that they add up to 90 miles.
Car. Yeah.
So let's let this car go by.
And a person.
So anyway, I wouldn't count on this to be a hiking location. That's because, again, us here on a weekend, but all the hiking trailheads were so busy and full. There's other hiking. If that's your game, there's other stuff here in the area where I think you would get just as much enjoyment to hike and not have to deal with the crowds.
Yes.
That being said, it's a very beautiful place. It's worth the visit. I realize in video that at some point it starts to feel redundant. I can tell you when you're here, every view is different enough that it captures your attention and you're like, wow, every time. I don't know whether I was able to do that in the video, but when you're here, literally you move 30 feet down, look at another overlook, and it somehow feels completely different, or you're seeing it for the first time.
Right.
So hopefully you found it inspiring. Hopefully you enjoyed all the beautiful footage and scenery that we did. We're on to our next destination. We hope to see you there soon. Thanks for following along. Bye-bye.
Bye.